Let's pretend for just 1 second that no one can hear us. How many of you ever had a thought, a tiny desire fantasy of just not following the rules? A feeling that the Italian tax system is so big, so complex, so full of bureaucracy that you could just simply disappear into it. A thought that you could be just the exemption to the rule. We're talking about a full-scale fantasy of living in Italy, earning an income, and just deciding to never pay taxes, never to file a return, never to pay a single euro. There is a common misunderstanding that if you don't file a tax return for the first time, you're somehow invisible, that the tax agency will never get to know you exist. And this is a fantasy that is becoming more and more dangerous and appealing every single day. Up to date, the Agenzia delle Entrate, the Italian tax agency, operates on a massive scale of automated data and AI. They basically cross-check information from hundreds of sources: your bank accounts, your employer, your utility companies, land registry, Social Security Institute. All the data is all connected, and it's only a matter of time before the system flags the missing piece of the puzzle: your tax return and taxes. If this video helped you even a little bit, make sure you hit subscribe. We've got a lot more coming. And before you book a one-on-one session with us or you hire us for any tax-related service, take a moment to check our digital store. We've built a complete collection of guides, masterclasses, templates that already solve more than 80% of the real-world tax questions expats face in Italy. You will find everything directly in our store. The link is right below in the description. The chances of being caught for a complete failure to pay taxes are not just a small number. The chances is over a 5-year period almost 100%. So it's not a matter of if, but when. Let's meet Alex. Alex is a young, ambitious freelancer from the US who moved to Rome. He loves the freedom of being his own boss. He works with clients from all around the world, and his income is all deposited into a bank account here in Italy. The first year, he hears a few stories from people on Facebook who say, "Oh, the tax system is so complicated, just wait for a few years, no one will notice." So he decides to take the risk. He decides to gamble. He simply doesn't register for the VAT number, he doesn't file the tax return, and he doesn't pay a single euro of taxes. In his first year, he earns around 25,000 euros. The income tax he should have paid, along with Social Security, would have been around 6,000 euros, more or so. But he pays nothing. In his second year, the same things happen again. He earns 30,000 this time, and the tax on Social Security he should have paid would have been around 8,000 euros. Still, he pays nothing. After 2 years, he looks at his bank account. He has the money to earn, and he has the money he should have paid in taxes. He feels a rush of excitement. He thinks he's a genius. He thinks he has outsmarted the system. He tells his friends, "Hey, I'm getting away with it." This is the part of the fantasy where everything seems to be going well. But this is not. The system is not blind. It's just slow. Now, let's see what happens to Alex 4 years later. He's still a freelancer. He has now gone 5 years without even filing a tax return or paying any taxes. The total amount he should have paid in taxes and Social Security is now over 40,000 euros. Suddenly, one day, a registered letter, a raccomandata, arrives. It's from the Agenzia delle Entrate. They've been cross-checking his data. They have seen his bank account. They have seen the income, and they have found no trace of a tax return. This is where the fantasy ends and the nightmare begins. The tax agency doesn't just ask him for the 40,000 euros he owed. They apply a penalty. The penalty for failing to file a tax return and pay taxes is brutal. It can be between 120 to 240% of the taxes owed. So his 40,000 euro debit is now 96 100,000 euros at minimum. And on top of that, they add interest. The interest builds up every day from the original deadline. So his total bill could be over 100,000 euros. And the tax agency doesn't just send a letter and wait. They can take direct action. They can seize his bank accounts. They can put a block across any property he owns, inside of Italy and outside of Italy. They can go after his assets. The money he thought he had saved is now gone and he owes even more. But the worst part is the psychological and legal damage. The tax agency can also report him to the public prosecutor for tax crimes. What started with a simple mistake can now become a criminal charge. The freedom he thought he had found is now a life of looking over his shoulder, a life of fear, and a life of financial ruin. The lesson of this story is not to be scared, but to be smart. You cannot outrun a system that has access to all of your data. The chances of being caught is so high that the risk itself is simply not worth the reward. The fantasy of living tax-free here in Italy is a dangerous lie. The initial feeling of getting away with it is an illusion. The reality is that the tax system is a web, and every day you don't pay, you're simply getting more. We can help you get compliant, we can help you understand the options, and we can help you get your financial life back on track. If you are a foreigner in Italy, you have questions about your tax situations, don't wait.
At Studio Rigo, we provide tax and strategic guidance for those navigating international complexity with significant interests in Italy. We work quietly, precisely, and always with the long term in mind. If you expect nothing less than clarity and control, you'll know where to find us. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.